Build Your Dream Podcast Team, part 2 of my Creator Success Framework. Hey there, are you wearing all the hats in your podcasting business? Host, editor, marketer, producer, the list goes on. It's exhausting, am I right? Well, here's the truth. No successful podcaster can do it all alone. So today, I'm going to show you how to build the right team to support your vision, amplify your creativity, and free you so you can focus on what you do best. Let's dive right in. Hi there, I'm Gordon Firemark, the podcast lawyer, and welcome to Legit Podcast Pro. This is the second episode in our 5-step framework for success as a creator business. And in our last episode, we talked about treating your podcast as a business and building a solid foundation to support your growth. If you missed it, I highly recommend you go back and check that out because today we're building on that foundation. This episode is all about step 2, building your dream podcast team. So we're going to cover why building a team is essential for growth, the key roles that every podcaster should consider filling, how to find and hire the right people, practical tips for managing your team and scaling effectively. And by the end of this episode, I think you're going to have a roadmap for building a dream team that'll help you take your podcast to the next level. So let's dive right in and get started on why building a team matters. Well, let's start with that. As podcasters, we tend to try to do it all. Research, recording, editing, marketing, social media, you name it. And while it might feel satisfying to be in control of everything, it is also a fast track to burnout. When you try to do it all, you limit your growth because there are only so many hours in the day. You'll miss out on opportunities to focus on the things you're best at, like creating amazing content. You'll risk burnout, which can drain your passion and creativity. So a team isn't just about lightening your workload. It's about freeing you to focus on the high-value tasks that drive growth and letting experts handle the other stuff. So step 1, identify the roles that you need to fill. How do you start building your team? Well, that's the first step. Write down every single task that you do for your podcast. Be as specific as you can. Might include researching and planning the episodes, recording and editing, writing show notes and uploading the content, promoting it on social media, managing sponsorships and partnerships. And then categorize these things into 3 groups. First, what you hate doing, the tasks that drain your energy and your enthusiasm. Then the ones that you're not good at. Let's face it, we can't all be great at everything. So what's taking up too much of your time? Even tasks that you can enjoy can hold you back if they consume hours that you could spend on more important things like growing the show. Once you've done this, you will have a clear idea of the 3 roles you need to fill. Common roles are things like audio editor, who handles the editing, mixing, and mastering episodes to give them that professional polish. Your virtual assistant will manage administrative tasks like scheduling, email management, and uploading the episodes. A social media manager can create and publish the content that will grow your audience on social media. And a producer could oversee the entire production process and team, helping you stay organized and focused. You don't need to hire everyone all at once. Start with the roles that will make the biggest impact on your workload and your podcast's quality. I actually like the idea of having a virtual assistant as your first hire. So next up, find and hire the right people. You know what roles you need, so let's talk about how to find them. Here are some of the best places you should look. There are freelance platforms. Websites like Upwork and Fiverr are great for finding experienced freelancers. Do be sure to check reviews and ask for samples of their work. If you're looking for a virtual assistant, you might also look at an outfit like Virtual Colleague Philippines or what's the other one? I'm blanking on it, but it's another Philippine-based virtual jobs market. So you can find that. Anyway, next up, also look out to your network. Reach out to your friends and colleagues and other podcasters to see if they know someone who's a good fit. Personal recommendations are often the best way to get good people. And there are podcasting communities. You can join online groups, forums, and social media communities for podcasters, which is a great place to connect with professionals who understand that industry and may be looking for work. Local talent. If you prefer working face-to-face, then you might want someone local, and that can be especially helpful for roles like co-hosts or producers. You can post ads on Craigslist or again, in groups that are local to you for the skills, or you might reach out to one of the local community colleges or colleges that has a program where you might find qualified editors and production people and things like that who are willing to work for a low price and good experience as they build their resumes and demo reels. And when you're ready to hire, then make sure that you clearly define the role and the expectations. Ask for work samples or conduct a small paid trial project to gauge their skills. Always, always, always use a contract to protect both you and your new team member. If you need help with those contracts, my Easy Legal for Podcasters program has templates that you can use for everything from freelancers to co-host agreements and everything in between. Step 3 is to manage the team effectively. You want to build that team and onboard people well, but managing the team as it goes is important as well. And so here are a few tips that'll keep things running smoothly. First, set clear expectations. Be upfront about deadlines, deliverables, and the quality of work you expect, and then stick to them, yourself and your team. Hold them accountable. Clear communication is really the foundation of any good working relationship. Use the right tools. There are lots of good platforms for project management, things like Trello and Asana and ClickUp and others, that'll help you stay organized and keep track of who's doing what. Hold regular check-ins, maybe have a weekly or bi-weekly call to discuss progress and address challenges and keep everybody in alignment. And give feedback. Don't be afraid to offer constructive criticism. As a leader, it's incumbent on you to let your team know what's going on and how they can improve. They will appreciate it if it's couched in the proper terms. So, recognize good work when it's done and identify and acknowledge the mistakes and errors without pointing fingers, and ask for advice and suggestions from your team about how we can improve things so these mistakes don't happen again. Finally, show appreciation. A simple thank you goes a really long way. When your team feels valued, they will be more invested in your success. Step 4 is to start small, scale over time. You don't need to hire a full staff overnight, so start with your first hire, either that VA that I talked about or an audio editor that'll save you hours of work each week. That VA handling your inbox or scheduling can be a huge time saver. And as your podcast grows, you can gradually expand your team. The key is to prioritize the roles that will have the biggest impact and build from there. Remember, every successful podcaster started somewhere. So the important thing is to take that first step. Building a podcast team isn't just about delegating tasks. It's about creating the time and space for you to focus on the things that you do best. So if you're ready to take your podcast to the next level, start by identifying the roles to fill, finding the right people, and setting up systems to manage them effectively. And don't forget, contracts are a must. Check out my Easy Legal for Podcasters program for templates and resources and all the instructions you need to implement them. Or if you just want the contract forms, head over to podcastlawforms.com. In our next episode, we will be diving into the third step, that is securing your intellectual property. That's a big one, so be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss it. And thank you for being here with me for this episode of Legit Podcast Pro. I'm Gordon Firemark, signing off. Have a great day.